With every elevated thought, I keep increasing power within the thought. So have good practice to always have elevated thoughts, because we keep increasing the inner powers. So the light in the form of Sakash can touch the hearts of many, many souls. When elevated thought increases inner power and the vibrations of each thought create the atmosphere of love, atmosphere of peace, atmosphere of belonging, because it's the thoughts which creates vibrations, and vibrations create atmosphere, and then atmosphere give or bring the experience in other souls. So highest service one can do, which can be constant service, consistent, is to have elevated thoughts. Because with this inner strength, there is inner protection from Maya or any traces of negativity. So when I am protected, I can also help other souls to remain untouched by the influence of Maya. So we have to do this elevated seva of constantly maintaining elevated thoughts and spread the rays of light and might. Create that canopy for your own self and also protect others. Take drishti from Baba.
से बाबा 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 बाबा, बस और कुछ हो ही नहीं। अंत मत सो बाबा रहे, दिल में बाबा रहे, मन में बाबा रहे, दिमाग में बाबा रहे। ये है मेरे बाबा की कमाल। शिव बाबा इसमें आया, हम भागते दौड़ते कहां से बच्चे बाबा के पास आ गए। नहीं, अगर शिव बाबा वहीं बैठा रहता हम कैसे जाते थे। तो ब्रह्मा बाबा में शिव बाबा आया। अभी हर एक देखे, कोई कहां से, कोई कहां से, कोई कहां से, कैसे आकर बाबा के पास पहुंचा। बाबा को देखा, देखते ही मेरा बाबा है, मैं बाबा का हूं। तो पहले लेसन में मैं आत्मा, फिर परमात्मा मेरा बाप है, परम धाम मेरा घर है। चौथा क्या है? समकाम का समय है। अब क्या करने का है? पांचवी बात, 5 बातें हैं, समझा? 5 बातें। अब ये 5 बातों में सब बातें इतनी सहज समझ में आने लगी है, जो इतनी शक्ति आ गई है। जो और आत्माएं हैं ना, जैसे भैंस के आगे क्या होता है? समझते बड़े मैं मोटी हूं, लेकिन बुद्धि मोटी है। मोटा हाथी भी है, पर भैंस और हाथी में कितना फर्क है। हाथी बड़ा सियाना है, भैंस को कि कितना हार्न बजाओ तो भी सुनते नहीं है। तो हमारी बुद्धि बाबा ने क्या बना दी? दे अभिमानी से देई अभिमानी। मैं आत्मा हूं, बाबा की हूं, इतना पक्का बाबा की हूं, ये पक्का हो गया है। और किसकी नहीं हूं, आत्मा बाबा की है। शरीर में बैठे हैं ना, शरीर भी मेरा नहीं है। तो बाबा ने क्या कहा है? इस शरीर को भी निमित्त पुरुषार्थ इस शरीर में बैठे के करना है, जो देता शरीर में नहीं कर सकेंगे। न कलयुगी शरीर में करेंगे, न सत्युगी देवता शरीर में करेंगे, पर संगम युग पर, ये युग में इस शरीर में बैठे पुरुषार्थ ऐसे करेंगे जो सुख शांति संपन्न। तभी क्या करने का है? क्या करने का है? सुख शांति की कोई कमी नहीं है। दुख शांति का नाम निशान गुम है, नाम निशान भी गुम सभी का है ना। दुख अशांति का नाम निशान, इशारा भी, निशानी भी गुम। जिसका गुम है हाथ उठाओ। अच्छा भाई, ओम शांति में सुख शांति की संपत्ति इतनी है, जी चाहते सबको मिले। जो बाबा ने मेरे को दी है ना, सबको मिले। बस और कुछ ख्याल में नहीं है। सुख शांति मेरे पास भंडारा है, भंडारा सुख शांति का भरपूर है। देने से बढ़ता है। कैसे देवे? कुछ नहीं करो, वाणी में भी नहीं आओ। वाणी थोड़ी, जो बाबा ने सुनाई है वो थोड़ी बोलो, पर मनसा में ऐसी फीलिंग्स हो, अच्छी हो, इतना आत्मिक प्रेम सबके लिए हो, और खुशी की शक्ति बहुत हो। खुशी खोराक है ना, जब देते हैं तो खुशी से देते हैं ना। मेरी खुशी नहीं हूं कैसे देंगी? खुशी की खोराक है, डॉक्टर एस ने खुशी की खोराक है, तभी देते हैं। हाँ। तो दाता तब बनेंगे जब खुशी की खोराक होंगी।
Om Shanti. Welcome to a Vyakti Parivar and to new series. And this is the first day of our new series, the day one, Diamond Dadi. So faith and God's hand. Now we'll be listening to Mohini Didi.
Om Shanti. I think that we all of us will come to know Dadi. We all know Dadi. Some of us know her for many, many years and also in close relationship. But we are starting this journey for 1 month, 31 days, in which you will see, you will hear Dadi and know her more and more. Many of you are new and maybe you didn't had a lot of personal contact with Dadi. So Baba has given us this opportunity to come to know Dadi more through the way she speaks, because she speaks of her life. So I thought that it's a very, very good way that we get introduced to Dadi with her, the force and intoxication, and of course, the foundation of her life was faith. Faith is faith, right? No doubt. It's not faith and doubt, right? Or doubtful faith. Faith as faith. My experience with Dadi is I never saw her where she was even little bit weak in the sense of, sometimes with all of us, it does happen because of her faith. And with faith, she was holding Baba. And she always, not only, of course, Baba, but deep within, he's also God. So that love she had for God, commitment, and the way she lived the surrender life all the time, yes, Baba. When she surrendered, she also came from a very affluent family. Baba told her that you will have to be the nurse for the patients. That means anyone who gets sick, take care of that person, give medicine, food accordingly. And Dadi later on realized that because of the role she had to play as a nurse, she could go to Baba anytime because she has to report the condition of the patient, right? So she used to say that at that time I didn't realize, but now when I think that whole day, she said almost every hour, either she will go or Baba will call to find out what is the condition of that patient, how is that patient doing. So just being obedient, otherwise someone will say, why I have to be given this role? There are others also. But she accepted. And then she saw what brought to her was this very, very closely knowing Baba. Shiv Baba through Brahma Baba and Brahma Baba while Shiv Baba in his body. So both experiences, and her obedience was to God. All of us have love for God, but when there is faith, that direction of God will definitely bring many powers and also reward in way of some fortune or other. Now, when we say that her recognition of Brahma Baba as instrument and also God Shiv Baba using that instrument. So there was 100% faith in both. If she didn't had faith in Brahma Baba, she wouldn't have been able not only to come close to Baba, but to follow Brahma Baba. We cannot follow Shiv Baba because he is not in body. We remember Shiv Baba, but we follow Brahma Baba. So this opportunity to stay close to Baba was really great fortune for her, which she shared with us many times. That how often I was able to go. Others will need appointment, but I won't. I could just go. So it's a good example that when there is faith and we take direction and we follow direction, at that time she didn't know that one day she will be the main spiritual head of the organization, of the yagya. She didn't. She said, I never thought that way. Because we used to ask her, how you feel about all this? But she still remembered her days when she was just an ordinary server. But also because of her faith, she had deep trust on herself. Two ways I experienced that. One was she was fearless. Fearless could be in many different ways, but you all know that she was very short in height, right? So Baba will ask her to go wherever Baba sent her, she went. And her certificate was she will adjust with everyone. Wherever nobody could settle, Baba will send her and she's happy because she's humble and respectful and she will cook and feed you. But when Baba gave her direction in the beginning of service in Punjab, there was this invitation from big interreligious conference. All big gurus of India were there. And Baba told her, you go and you have to give the message and give talk. And she said they all were very, the way gurus sit and, the way they eat and big. She said I was like was not even visible. And she said when my turn came to speak, I stood up and I spoke. I said everything what Baba explains the knowledge. Because see, knowledge is something which when it touches our hearts and we know it is truth, but then we start, intellect is good because you need to understand knowledge, but then we start kind of, and especially those who have some education, they have read philosophy, psychology, so they start giving examples, right? And of course, people can relate all that. But Dadi never read anything else than Murli's time. So all what she has to give was original knowledge as knowledge. Mhm. But as I said, she was fearless. She will, as I said, anywhere Baba will send mm, for lecture, for opening center, for sustaining Brahmins, she will just say, yes, Baba. Mhm. So she became very known amongst gurus. I remember many times when uh, she was invited even to Haridwar, where they have all these religious leaders. They all used to love her, respect her. So faith as becoming fearless, confident, self-trust in sharing God's knowledge, giving Baba's message. Mm. Because when we have to give Gyan, we create so much background, right? But she just will give knowledge. So we have used these two words, Manan and Chintan. Manan is what is going on in your mind. We call it churning. We think about something, then we go deeper into that. But all that is in the mind, in the thoughts. It's a very good quality because in the one who has tolerance or anything with the character, they call it like Sahanshil. So same they call it Mananshil. This is the personality which thinks deeply, properly. So Manan, I think that if each one of you think of your childhood as a Baba's child, how deeply, how much you used to just say Baba, talk about Gyan. There was nothing else, but that was childhood. Then we start using intellect, and then in a very different way, get little bit uh, that manan which was there. So it's then churning is more intellectual churning, in the sense of we try to make logic and reasoning so that we can prove. What can you prove? Truth is truth. No? When we asked, we asked, many Baba's children were sitting. Through this brother, he got the message and he said, what I was touched was that God is giving this knowledge. And how long we take to even tell that God is giving knowledge. People keep asking from where you get this knowledge, not in scriptures. So we hesitate, right? They won't believe, but even if they don't believe, but if they believe, it will be beneficial, right? If they don't believe, how much benefit they can take. But then there is other word called chintan. It's like something has touched you very deeply. It could be positive, could be negative. Like what start saying, I have a big concern. And then it becomes a worry. Chinta. No, Baba said in Murli, worries. People have worries. Chintan means you keep thinking about it. But when the truth deeply touches you, then you keep thinking about, reflecting on that truth. What I understand, what I realize, what are the attainments. So we using the word reflection because it's more deeper than just having thoughts. So what we had to do, Manan, in the sense of what exactly the faith is, how I change that faith in intoxication, how that faith can become power, how faith helps me to be victorious. You know, Baba says power in faith, victory in faith. So thinking about that, reflecting on that is creating the power of faith, intoxication of faith, knowing that yes, there will be victory where there is faith. So reflecting and churning about faith, and of course, Dadi's recognition. There are some, oh, I have direct connection with Shiv Baba. As much I respect Brahma Baba as instrument, that much respect others have for me as instrument. I respect Brahma Baba. I think if he wouldn't have allowed, given his chariot to Baba, understood how to create Yagya, and set everything for us, not only gave knowledge, but what should be our lifestyle, understanding of karmas, loveful relationship, everything is taught by Brahma Baba, right? Shiv Baba through Brahma Baba. But who changed that knowledge into practical life is Brahma Baba. And then we all look at Brahma Baba and then we follow Brahma Baba. So this faith in both Babas, Brahma Baba and Shiv Baba. And I saw practically one of the specialty, of course, of Dadi Janki, but all the Dadis, their commitment was so real because when they got directions, they were through Brahma Baba. but they accepted those directions and followed those directions 100%. Of course, there were some who couldn't do it. So it's not they doubt, but they say, Baba, we're not able to follow. Baba, we still have full of the old world. Baba, I still want to be back in my lokic physical family. Baba will say, okay, child, you go. You go wherever. That's why anytime anyone wanted to leave Yagya, Baba very willingly and happily said, child, go. He didn't feel why they're leaving me. Okay, so that's their part. They're going, they're playing their part. He sustained them for so many years. That means they didn't have doubt, but they couldn't carry on. They said, Baba, I can't manage this life. It's a lot of sacrifice. Naturally, there was so much discipline, proper timetable. Everything was in a discipline. Now it's different. Anytime you can go and have tea or food, but those times there was timetable. Everything was in a discipline for food, for drinking, for karma yoga, few hours, and our duties. So developing this capacity, looking at Dadi Janki, Manan Chintan, where clarity, understanding, power, wisdom, everything is awakened and stored within the self. So Diamond Dadi was one of that example. As I said, she always joked. She used to look at me and say, oh, I'm so tiny, but I'm mighty, she will say. I said, of course you are. Sometimes she used to tell me, look, I am even stronger than you. I said, I believe that because she had power of faith, love, her kindness. Anything, anyone. Once there was an old woman, she asked Dadi for some nuts, she wanted. So Dadi called sister, go and give her this much. Nut. So much? Daddy said, what's there? There is her desire, give her. Anyone went for anything. Help, spiritual, physical. Daddy will definitely fulfill everyone's desire. And that is why she was loved, she was respected, and of course received blessings from the whole family. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti. Didi, for sharing such a deep and beautiful moments spending with Dadiji. And now I would like to invite our sister Shireen to help us with our Manan Chintan point for tomorrow. So Manan Chintan, the art of journeying.
Good evening, everyone. Om Shanti. Thank you, Mohini Didi. That was so beautiful. I was taking notes and notes and notes. But one of the things that really helped me with what Mohini Didi was sharing was she was sharing that reflecting and churning. Why are we doing Manan Chintan? Is because when we are reflecting and churning, and the example she was giving today was about faith, is when we are reflecting and churning about faith, then it turns to power. And so if we really want power, then we have to reflect and churn. And so I remember one time Dadi Janki because Didi was saying that one of Dadi's specialty was she got a certificate from everyone. And she was giving a class to a small group of people, Dadi Janki. And I remember her sharing how when she was a nurse, when she first came into the yajna and she was a nurse, she was working with someone who had a very, very difficult personality. No one else could work with her. She had a very difficult personality. But one thing that that soul did not know was she didn't know how to read. So Dadi used to every day sit with her and read her the Murli. And after doing that for several months, several years, then that soul really started trusting Dadi, and they got along very well after that, and it became very easy. The relationship became very easy. I remember listening to that story and thinking, I was so inspired. I was so inspired by the karmas that Dadi performed to where she was that day. You know, when I was listening to her, I was thinking, imagine the karmas this soul has performed to be where she is. And the other thing that struck me with what Didi was sharing was the first time she was invited to this conference, she was just very short and all of these gurus were so big, and it's not just the physical stature, right? She grew up in India where women were pretty much second class citizens. So she grew up in a culture where she didn't have confidence. She grew up in a culture where it wasn't easy for her there was a lot of limitations around being a woman, and she grew up in that culture, but with so much confidence and so much self-respect that Dadi was able to not only present herself in that conference of the gurus, but throughout her life, right? She used to be with such high-powered people, and she was able to overcome those limitations. She was able to overcome the limiting beliefs she had about herself. And that's so profound, actually, because when you go deeper into your subconscious, you realize how your limiting beliefs are really holding you back. And then you see Dadi Janki, who was just so beyond any limitations. She was so unlimited in every way. But the thing that, for me, the takeaway from today, from Didi's sharing, is I took away 6 things that you can get from just having faith. 6 things that you can get from just having faith. And so this is the faith that Brahma Baba is the instrument and Shiv Baba is the one using Brahma Baba as an instrument. And so just with this faith, there's 6 things you can take away. One is power, many powers actually, but power. And the second one is rewards. And the example she was giving was of Dadi. When she became a nurse, she didn't complain, oh, why did you make me a nurse? But she got to spend so much time with Baba. She had access to Baba and all of that. So the second one is many rewards. The third one is closeness to Baba, that every hour she got a chance to be with Baba. Every hour she got to know Baba so well. And so that closeness, so just by that faith, she got so many things. Closeness to Baba, that's the third one. The fourth one is the deep trust in herself, how she was able to trust herself so deeply. The fifth one, she got along with everyone. And that is the certificate she got just from having faith. She got along with everyone. And the sixth one, which seems very important in today's day and age, is fearlessness. And so those are the minimum things you can get. But definitely churning brings power. So with that, can we have the slide for tomorrow's churning? So tomorrow's point is my future is in my own hands. And if I move along with my hand in God's hand, that future will be the best. My future is in my own hands. And if I move along with my hand in God's hand, that future will be the best. So, Sister Gayatri was sharing yesterday that we should look at that. Dadi has such beautiful qualities, and you can see it through her eyes in this photo. The carefreeness and the empress of Baba's heart. There is Dadi. So this slide really represents Dadi's qualities, and the other one is Dadi, for us to reflect on Dadi. So beautiful picture. And so tomorrow, throughout the day, starting at Amrit Vela, was very powerful Amrit Vela, starting at Amrit Vela, and then throughout the day to really churn on it, to journal about it, and to bring it into your relationships. Thank you.
Shireen, Sister Shireen did very well, gave us the essence of the qualities or the result of the faith. Very, very good. Actually, we are showing some of Dadi's pictures in how expressive she was and in action. And so it's not that her intoxication was just deep inside, but it was very much visible. Like we could control. No, it shouldn't be. But her intoxication was, you could feel it from the picture, how much was intoxication, and not at all aware about the physical personality. She just created this magnificent appearance wherever she went. Even she was at UN. We could hardly see her behind the desk, but there was a little stool. She just got up on that and started reading message in English. So it's amazing, so how faith can be transformed into so many practical attainments, practical capacities also in the life. So thank you, Shireen Ben.
Thank you.
Om Shanti, thank you very much. And now let's welcome our new phase of Awake the Journey. Awake the Journey 1 Adidev, special stories of those who became instruments of God. And now, as this month is special for our Dadi Janki Ji, so Dadi Janki Ji was part of the whole Adidev story, right? So let's see.
मेरा नाम जानकी है। बाबा के अनुभव की जैसे मेरे पास है, वंडरफुल है। मेरा ये भाग्य है जो मैंने आद से जैसे साकार बाबा को अच्छी तरह से पहचानने से जैसे मैंने भगवान को मिली हूँ। बाबा को जानने पहचानने में सुख मिलता है इलाही। मेरा जी चाहता है समझदार आदमी बाबा को देखे।
Our Bab Dada says, "Sweet children, you should become an all-rounder karma yogi just like Brahma Baba. Brahma Baba's unshakable and cheerful face always uplifted all the children. Brahma Baba's friendship was his greatest treasure. Though he was old in years, he was the most playful yogi. He worked all day for service, but his intellect was always busy in churning knowledge. One day, Brahma Baba decided to teach all children the method of becoming a karma yogi. Let's fly back to this auspicious day and learn the method of karma yoga. Early in the morning, Baba played an inspiring record to wake all the children up. Awaken, O brides, awaken. As soon as children started to open their eyes, Baba went to their cottage and said, "Sweet children, now create a powerful thought and tell yourself, by discarding the sleep of ignorance, I must completely awaken the soul as I do my body." With this powerful thought, all the children sat in Baba's remembrance. After Murli class, Baba assigned each child a karma yoga. Some were assigned to wash clothes, some worked in the kitchen, some did office jobs, some repaired cars, and some were sewing clothes. After everyone got busy in their assigned task, Brahma Baba decided to take a tour to each child. First, he went to the children who were preparing food. Baba went to them and gave a very powerful yoga drishti. Then he lovingly said, "Daughter, if you cook in Shiv Baba's remembrance, there will be power in food. Consider that you are preparing this meal for him. This is Shiv Baba's imperishable yajna. Keep that in mind as you work." This is how Baba made sure that the foundation of pure feelings was merged while preparing food. Then Baba went to the children who were sewing. He stood at the door and lovingly said, "Sweet daughters, while you do your work with your physical organs, remember God with your intellect. By remembering Shiv Baba, you will become worthy of wearing royal gowns in Satyug. So make effort to remember Baba as you sew." Then Baba went to the laundry room. Baba said, "Sweet children, you are washing the clothes of the body. Shiv Baba is the unlimited laundryman who purifies all the degraded souls. Remember him and wash your soul along with your clothes." Then Baba went to the administrative offices, where he would tell the children, "You are the stars of fortune. You work for the highest paying company. You are the highest paid employees of this imperishable yajna." Then Baba went to those who were cleaning pots and dishes Baba said, as you clean these vessels, remind yourself that Shiv Baba has come to clean the vessel of your intellect. So continue to make your intellect golden as you wash these vessels. When Baba took all the children out for a walk, he would tell them, see, along with these physical pilgrimage, go also on the subtle pilgrimage. Stay in remembrance of Paramdham. O my invaluable jewels, you alone in all the world know about this Avyakt pilgrimage. This is how Baba playfully reminded everyone to become a karma yogi while performing all different types of work for the yajna. Hearing these beautiful jewels from Baba, all the children maintained zeal and enthusiasm in service and continue to sing and dance in Baba's remembrance.
संगम युग का समय सुहाना, परम धाम से तेरा आना, ब्रह्मा तन से काम कराना, योग सिखाकर पाप मिटाना, जीवन नैया पार लगाई, बिगड़ी हुई तकदीर बनाई, सत्यों की सृष्टि तूने रचाई, देवी देवों से है सजाई, भारत देश में आए शिव है, जीवन बदलते विश्व है। बाबा तेरा बनने में सुख मिलता इलाही है, सुख मिलता इलाही है। बाबा तेरा बनने में सुख मिलता इलाही है, सुख मिलता इलाही है। खुशियों से भरा जीवन हर पल में कमाई है, हर पल में कमाई है। Om Shanti. Do you like it? So beautiful. Dadi also was real karma yogi. She did everything. There was nothing that she didn't do. So we know all her stories, and we heard from all our seniors also that how she used to do everything, and of course she was the great example. And thank you very much for bringing such a beautiful stories to all of us, the Parivar. Thank you. And now it's time for us to say goodbye and good night. Didi has brought Toli for everybody. So everyone, open your mouth, please. Receive the Toli.
No, take in hand. It's quite big. So this
You can
is
take
a
it. Yeah.
new kind of laddu from rice crisps. It's very, very light and it's little brown sugar, and they make it, like syrup from the sugar with very little butter. Put the rice crisps and then make it round. You can make it flat also, but so this is a special laddu of rice crisps. Okay, did you like it? You can try, right? You all try how it comes out. Little bit brown sugar with butter, Melt it and put. Mm, okay.
Thank you, Didi, for Toli. But with Toli, we need blessing also. So can you please give us a blessing?
Be all round. All round. Mm.
So we got a blessing that we will become like our Dadi, be all rounder, right? So everything we can do in Baba's remembrance. Thank you. So now let's remember Baba and just
Om Shanti. Good night, everyone. And it's a beautiful, beautiful journey to be close to Dari Janki. So her Amrit Vela used to be very consistent, powerful. So we are also doing that in the morning. Om Shanti and good night, everyone.